Yo, what's up guys? Back with another video. Today, I'm doing my week 2 predictions. So week 1, I had a pretty good record of 11-5 compared to Mike. I think he went like 9-7, so easy peasy right there. I got the Jaguars game wrong, Lions game wrong. Who would have thought? But to all you Falcons fans out there, that's what I thought. And the Browns fans, really, you didn't have a chance, and I said it from the start. But week 2, it has some, pretty good games, and I think some of these games I'm going to get wrong off the bat. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But let's start with Thursday Night Football. So for Thursday Night Football of the week 2 season, we start with the Bengals at the Browns. I honestly don't even know who's going to win this game. I think the Browns are way overrated, even though they look good and they have a good, talented roster, but they're overrated when they score 6 points against the Ravens. Their coaching, their plays against the Ravens was kind of questionable. And they choked that game early in the first and second quarters. Although it wasn't a competition, the Bengals, they did pretty good too. They could have won that game easily, but they didn't. I think this will be a close one, but I'm gonna pick the Browns ultimately to win this game only because it's in Cleveland. And trust me, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals upset the Browns. I'll pick the Browns by a comfortable 7 points. So now we go to Sunday 1 o'clock games. We have the Giants at the Bears. The Giants played the Steelers last night. I think the Giants offense actually played pretty nice. Daniel Jones was actually very nice, not gonna lie. The running game was absent, but I think that won't be a problem in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants actually won this game, but I think the Bears ultimately should win this one. But trust me, I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants won this game. Their defensive line was playing pretty good against Pittsburgh. Secondary, not too much. And like I said, Daniel Jones, if he plays good, they can win this game. The home team in this matchup ends up losing the last 3 games they played. So I don't want to be surprised. And I'm actually going to pick the Bears to win. And only because it's in Chicago. But mark my words, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears lost. Also, the Bears kind of got a free win, so whatever. So the next game, a game that's, come on now. Rams at Eagles. All the way across the country, the Rams have to travel. But the Eagles, they're so injured. Offensive line, defensive line's injured. The Rams, they're all healthy. They played good against the Cowboys. I'm picking the Rams to win this game in Philly. I think the Eagles are just too injured to play in this game. This game's later in the season. I'd pick the Eagles, definitely, but it's not. And that's why I think the Rams are going to win this game. So the next game, Falcons at Cowboys. 2 teams that are way overrated by their fan bases. Come on, 0-1, both start 0-1. I think Falcons and Cowboys fans are my least favorite fans because they think they're so good, and they're not. I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win this game anyway because it's in Dallas. They played good against the Rams, probably could have won, but they didn't. They kind of trolled with their coaching, not going for a field goal. The pass interference was questionable. Cowboys probably should have won that game, but they didn't, whatever. Falcons, they lit up against the Seahawks, but it wasn't enough. They got outscored by a ton. So I think the Falcons are going to fight in this game. Cowboys are ultimately going to end up winning. So the next game, Panthers at Buccaneers. Both of these teams played pretty good, and they both lost their home. Season openers. Buccaneers actually lost to a really good team, though. The Saints only lost by 9 points, I think, or 11. Panthers choked against the Raiders at home. This game's in Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers and the Panthers both have very talented offenses, not going to lie. Defense, I think the Buccaneers defense is a little better, which is why I think Tom Brady's going to get his first win week 2 against the Panthers at home. Buccaneers are going to win this one. So next we have an interesting one. We have the 49ers at the Jets. I say this is interesting because I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets won this game. I honestly don't want to pick the 49ers, but I think I'm going to have to. Obviously, they have an established team. Their passing offense is garbage, and George Kittle is out for this game. I think the 49ers are going to find a way to clutch up on defense, maybe get a couple interceptions, lead the Garoppolo to the red zone or something. Jets offense kind of troll. Le'Veon Bell's out too. Jamison Crowder, only good player on that offense right now. Jets defense, kind of bad. But it played pretty good in the second half of that Bills game. Wouldn't be surprised if the Jets won. 49ers probably should win this game. So I'm going to give the win to the 49ers, but I'm going to say they're only going to win by 3 points. So the next game, the Broncos at the Steelers. Both these teams played on Monday nights. Pretty good games. Steelers played amazing. Their defense played amazing. They only allowed Saquon to run the ball for 6 yards. Big Ben had 9 rushing yards. Saquon 6. Look at that stat. The Broncos, on the other hand, they almost won that game, but I didn't even think they deserved to be that close in the game, only because the missed field goals would have put the Titans up by 2 scores. I think the Steelers are the better team, and it's in Pittsburgh. They're going to win this game easily. So next, we have an AFC South battle, the Jaguars at the Titans. They both start 1-0. Jaguars they kind of surprised me last week. I actually thought they were going to go 1-16 and actually beat the Colts week 1. If I were to ask you who the better team is, you'd say the Titans. I would agree. Titans have a history of running over the Jaguars. Derrick Henry, of course. And I think this will be actually a closer game than you expect. But the Titans ultimately should end up winning this game. I'd give them a 10 to 14 point lead at the end of the game. So the next game, a pretty juicy one. Lions at Packers. I only say this because the Lions deserve to be 1-0. But, just look at the screen. But the Packers, they absolutely dominated week 1. Defense was a little troll, but Packers offense, my gosh, it played so well. Defense played well until the fourth quarter where it just stopped trying. I understand. Why would you try when you're up by so many points? But I think the Packers are actually one of the best teams in the NFL. Maybe like top 5, maybe top 3. The NFL power rankings have them at 3. Packers are at home in this game. I don't even think it's a question who should win. Easy win for the Packers. In the next game, another juicy one, Bills at Dolphins. I say this is a good one because if Fitzpatrick plays well, which he probably could, Bills could end up losing. But the Bills had a dominant performance week 1 against the Jets. They had a very impressive defense and offensive effort. And the Dolphins, they played the Patriots pretty well in New England. I wasn't expecting to win, but it's pretty close. I think the Bills should win this game. Wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins did. I'm going to pick the Bills by like 3 points, maybe a last-second field goal. And the last 1 o'clock game of Sunday, and the hardest game, in my opinion, to predict, the Vikings at the Colts. And I say this because the Vikings, the pass defense was so bad last week, and I thought it was pretty good last year, but it was so bad last week that they could end up losing just because of that fact. And I say that because even though the defensive line for the Vikings played well, the Colts offensive line is the best in the NFL. And if you put 2 and 2 together, that means the Vikings defense is absolutely going to troll this week. T.Y. Hill and Paris Campbell, Phillip Rivers, they're going to have a good game passing-wise. The running game, I don't think it's going to be that good. It might be. You already know Marlon Mack's out, but Naheem Hines played very well. I honestly don't know who's going to win this game, but I think the Colts should end up winning this game by 3 points. So, another game. Now we are at 4 o'clock, 4:05. Washington football team at the Arizona Cardinals. I think this is a very interesting game. They're both 1-0. They both beat teams that were projected to win, and it's in Arizona. So, I think the Cardinals are going to win this game only because it's in Arizona. Football team, though, they can easily play this game. It's all defensive effort by the football team. If Chase Young has another monster game, gets to Kyler Murray, which, I don't know, might be a problem. It might not. But if that happens, football team could end up upsetting the Cardinals. But with DeAndre Hopkins, oh my God. I think that dude had 14 receptions against the 49ers defense. I think the football team is going to have a close battle, but it's ultimately going to end up losing to the Cardinals in Arizona. So the next game we have, Ravens at Texans. This is going to be a very funny game to watch. I hope the Ravens lose, but they're not going to because, I want Pittsburgh to win the division. But the Ravens dominated the Browns week 1. They dominated the Texans last year. And this game, I don't even think it's competition for the Ravens anymore. It should be an easy win. Wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens won by 20 points. Another easy game to predict. We have the Chiefs at the Chargers. Chargers barely beat the freaking Bengals week 1. Chiefs, best team in the league. Easy win for the Chiefs. Don't even have to explain why. Now, Sunday Night Football. This game actually looks pretty nice. Super Bowl rematch. Patriots at Seahawks. Now, a lot of people are underestimating the Seahawks. But before the season started months ago, I predicted the Seahawks to have one of the best records in the NFC, and I believe that's going to hold up. The Seahawks offense was lighting it up against the Falcons. It wasn't even a competition. Russell Wilson was a monster, 4 touchdowns. Their defense didn't play that bad, but it kind of trolled in the fourth quarter. Jamal Adams didn't have the best game, but he could have a good game against his former division rival Patriots. This game's in Seattle. Scam Newton is a scam. I think the Seahawks should end up winning this game. And I'm saying this with authority. I think the Seahawks should win by more than 10 points. Now we have the last game of the season, the Saints at the Raiders. Michael Thomas is questionable, and that could be devastating, but I doubt it. Because the Raiders defense, their passing defense I should say, was troll, and it is pretty bad. And the Saints, you already know, they have a dominant passing offense. If Michael Thomas is out of this game, which I don't think is going to happen, but if he is, it could be bad for the Saints offense and potentially let the Raiders get the win at home. But I believe the Saints should end up winning this game against the Raiders. It's in the black hole, the first time the Raiders play in their new stadium in Las Vegas. But the Saints, they just got a dominant team. Their defense played good against the Buccaneers. Their offense played good. This team is just dominant. Raiders should end up losing. Saints should end up winning. Comment down below if you disagree or agree with any of the picks. You know, I had 11-5 record last week, pretty decent, so I have some credibility in that department. Lions should have won. I should be at 12-4, but I'm not. But seriously, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and adios.